Jenna always joked that Molly was more like a shadow than a dog. Wherever she went, bedroom, kitchen, even the bathroom, Molly was behind her. A 75-pound golden retriever with a stubborn heart and honey-color fur that collected more leaves than a rake in fall. She'd been there for Jenna's wedding, her first miscarriage, and the birth of their daughter. She'd slept beside Jenna on nights when Caleb worked double shifts, when the crib was empty, when the house echoed with silence. So when Molly stopped eating on the way to their family cabin, Jenna noticed immediately. It was the way she stared at her treat, but didn't touch it, the way her belly looked tight, the way she let out a low, strange whine and curled up in the back seat instead of sticking her head out the window like she always did. They turned around. What began as a weekend away became a race against time. The emergency vet clinic was an hour from the cabin. 40 minutes into the drive, Molly began to drool excessively. Her breathing grew shallow. She tried to stand, then collapsed. They reached the clinic just as the receptionist was locking the front doors. "We're closing, but..." She looked down at Molly, then at Jenna. "Bring her in." Within 10 minutes, they had the diagnosis. Gastric dilatation volvulus, GDV, bloat, one of the most dangerous emergencies a large dog can face. The vet was calm but direct. "The stomach has twisted. She's in shock. If we operate now, she has a good chance. If we wait, she won't make it." Then came the other part. The surgery alone could be $10,000. ICU stay, meds, anesthesiology, post-op care, another $5,000 minimum. And how do people usually pay for this? Caleb asked. "Cash, care credit, or pet insurance?" The vet said. "And we need at least a $6,000 deposit before we start." Jenna felt the room tilt. They had about $2,000 in savings. Rent was due. Their daughter had preschool fees. Caleb's job at the factory had cut hours last month. And yet, not saving Molly was an option. That's when Jenna remembered something. Barely, 3 years earlier, after their friend's cat fell off a third-story balcony and racked up $9,000 in vet bills, Caleb had insisted they sign up for pet insurance just in case. They almost canceled it last year. Too many bills. Tight budget. Molly was healthy. It felt pointless. But they'd kept it. Jenna pulled up the app, logged in. Policy. Active. Coverage. 90% reimbursement on emergency procedures. Status. In good standing. She showed the vet. The energy in the room changed. The vet nodded. "We'll prep her now." Surgery started within 20 minutes. It lasted almost 4 hours. Molly's heart stopped once. The surgeon manually untwisted her stomach, removed a section of dead tissue, and tacked the stomach to the abdominal wall to prevent it from flipping again. She spent the next 72 hours in critical care. Jenna barely slept. She sat by the kennel, stroking Molly's ears through the bars, watching the machines, praying. On the 4th morning, the vet walked in holding a leash. Molly was attached to the other end, shaky, thin, but tail wagging, eyes bright, alive. Jenna fell to her knees. She hugged her dog, who gave a soft bark, like she'd just returned from a long nap. The final bill? $14,274.62. After insurance, $1,846.94. Jenna stared at the invoice like it was a lottery ticket, not because it was cheap, but because it meant they hadn't been forced to make an impossible choice. Because it meant Molly got to come home. Because it meant love didn't lose to money. A week later, she posted about it online. Just a picture of Molly on the couch, with the caption, "We almost lost her, but pet insurance saved her life." The post exploded. Millions of views, thousands of comments. People sharing stories of dogs they couldn't save. People admitting they'd never thought about pet insurance until now. Some praised them. Others criticized. "You're lucky. Most people can't even afford the insurance." Maybe that was true, but Jenna wasn't trying to sell a miracle. She was trying to share a truth most people only learn when it's too late. Because here's the thing about pet emergencies. They don't ask if you're ready. They don't care about your paycheck, your rent, or your savings. They just show up and ask you to decide. And when they do, when your best friend's life hangs in the balance. The difference between heartbreak and homecoming might just be a dusty old policy you almost canceled last year. Molly is still her shadow, still follows Jenna to the bathroom, still barks at the vacuum, still lives. And every single day, Jenna looks at her and thinks the same thing. That was the best $30 a month we ever spent.